Well, welcome in, Pine Bell, and thanks for joining us for your weekend preview. I'm Ellie Davis.
And I'm Ryan Mahan. And Ellie, we're wrapping up the week soon, and it's been a big one for you.
Yeah, it was my first week on the desk. It's my first week as a full-time anchor, and it's been good. I'm learning so much about the state of Mississippi. I'm learning how to come to work at 3 in the morning, but it's been really good.
It's that first couple of weeks, it gets a little bit better, but it's a struggle when you first get used to it. So. But I'm glad that you're here, and everybody else is glad that you're here as well, I'm pretty sure, so that we can get all that out for sunrise.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been really great. It's been fun to be here. And speaking of fun things, let's jump into some events. The Downtown Farmers Market is happening on Saturday, and I can hear the cheers through the screen already. This Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m., you can head to Square Park in downtown Hattiesburg, stock up on some fresh produce, grab some food, and you can check out all the other goodies from some local vendors. You'll be able to hear some good music, play games, and even do some yoga. So Ryan, you a big yoga guy?
Yeah, actually. I wouldn't say like a big yoga guy. I do own a mat. I usually just kind of stretch.
I was so prepared for you to say you just lay on the mat, because that's what I would do.
This is one of them, I think. The tree.
That's about the only one I can probably do.
Yeah, so it's good. It's good. Get out there, learn you some stuff. I promise. If you're like a taller guy like me, you got to do some stretching like every day, and that yoga really helps out.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've always wanted to do goat yoga myself.
I imagine that's a lot of fun. Goats climbing on you while you're stretching. Why not? Why not? Anyway. Well, let's take a step back in history and learn about the greatest extinction the world has ever seen at the Mississippi Museum of Natural Science in Jackson. Well, tomorrow it's all about Permian plants with a fun Friday expedition into the evolution of forests with conservation educator. Sorry, I thought that was Ecuador for a moment. Megan Huseman. This event is from 10 a.m. to noon and is included in the museum admission. It's part of a special exhibit called Permian Monsters, Life Before Dinosaurs, that brings the past to life with fossilized skeletons and full-size life models of the animals that ruled the world millions of years before the age of the dinosaurs in a time known as the Permian. And here is a quick Paleozoic fact. The Permian period ended with the extinction of 80% of all species. Well, check out the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks for more information and ticket prices. Again, that's at the Mississippi Museum of Natural Science in Jackson tomorrow.
Well, I think that's a great way to spend your Saturday. Very educational opportunities, fun way to, get your child educated on the Permian period. I guess I didn't know anything about it until 10 seconds ago, and now I'm kind of inclined to spend my Saturday in Jackson.
It is cool to learn about this. And I'm obviously all for science. Kids, little boys in particular, all of them have a favorite dinosaur. I know girls do too sometimes. Maybe you still do. So a lot of fun out there, I gotta say. And you can learn something. Like, for instance, here's a little tidbit for you. Like Jurassic Park, none of those dinosaurs are from the Jurassic period.
Really?
Yeah. So interesting stuff in there.
That's the only education I had about dinosaurs.
Exactly. Like everyone's like, oh, I know some. You don't. There's a lot of weird stuff when it gets into those time periods.
Huh. I guess I know nothing about dinosaurs. Well, moving on to Sunday, we're going to keep you in Jackson, where your kids can enjoy a sensory-friendly day at the Mississippi Children's Museum. That's from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. This will be a day designed for children with sensory difficulties. Children and their caregivers can experience the museum in a new light with reduced stimuli and sensory-inclusive certified staff. Kids, parents, and caregivers can expect reduced crowds, lighting and sounds, and sensory-inclusive certified staff by Culture City, sensory kits, and maps to help you navigate potentially other stimulating exhibits. Children's Museum, go to the mschildrensmuseum.org for ticket prices and information. I saw something about a bubble exam, a bubble exhibit, rather. We're not taking a test on bubbles, but if there's an exhibit about bubbles, I think that would be tons of fun. Have you ever seen like the bubble guns that spit out like hundreds of bubbles in under 30 seconds?
It looks like those do look like a lot of fun. As of the event there, pretty interesting, I would say, certainly.
Yeah.
And good to see that those kind of events are getting around out there. I know they're not for everybody, but it does add and make people more able to enjoy them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great way to make it inclusive for parents and children that otherwise wouldn't go if they're super busy, and the weekend is the time that museums are normally busy.
I've been seeing it a lot at movie theaters too, so that you know, some kids just aren't going to sit and be quiet, and that's okay, because at these, you can be a little bit loud during the movie. They expect that's going to happen.
Well, how wonderful.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Well, moving on. Apparently, we want to spend the whole weekend in Jackson, and that's okay. It's not all that far away, and we're giving you some fun events to enjoy while you're there, like live music. A lot of people like that. Enjoy the 601 vibes with the 601 Live Band tomorrow at 7 at Center Stage Event Center. Go out to dance along during a live performance as the 601 Live Band brings their unique sound to the venue. If you're in for a blend of soulful R&B, funk, and infectious rhythms, again, that's Friday, starting at 7 at the Center Stage Event Center in Jackson. Head to eventbrite.com for ticket info or look up 601 Live Band on Facebook.
I'm starting to feel like Jackson is the place to be, especially this weekend.
It does seem like there's a lot of good museum action. Now we've got live events, of course. Jackson's just a pretty populated place. There's always something going on, it seems.
Yeah, and now multiple things that we all have the information on. You can go to children's museums and see bubbles. You can listen to live music. Honestly,
I'm really into bubbles.
I really am into bubbles. Honestly, like I think that's what, when I have children, that's the way I'm going to entertain them. Be like, here's a bubble gun. Go blow some bubbles. And I'm going to hang out and watch you over here.
I don't think I've tried the bubble gun yet. Might have to use that.
There you go. There's an idea. That's how you can spend your weekend.
I may do that.
Alrighty, well, moving it on, let's bring it back to Hattiesburg and go to Hattie's Burgers and Blues. This establishment wants you to know it's for real this time. So maybe they had a hard time getting this band before, but whatever the case may be, Hattie's Burgers and Blues is hosting the Shane Tubbs Band Saturday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The business says the Shane Tubbs Band comes highly requested and they love whenever the band is up on stage, and hopefully you will too. So join Hattie's Burgers and Blues in Hattiesburg, of course, this Saturday for gourmet burgers, draft beer, and live music. Now, Ryan, are you a big blues music listener?
I do like some blues. I guess I'm more of a rocker, which it does have like a blues history. I like it a little harder than the blues.
As somebody that comes in the morning and hears your music,
Oh,
I
yeah.
definitely understand. Ryan's always in here and he's bopping and he's headbanging, and it's the highlight of my morning personally. It really pumps me up for the
Classic
day.
rock, metal, yeah. I like it a little loud and fast. That's me. But I do enjoy the good blues music and some funky vibes. I was listening to a little bit more funky this morning, I think, than rocking. So yeah, like we were talking about earlier.
Well, good. Then for anybody that doesn't want to go all the way up to Jackson, that's an event in Hattiesburg, so you can keep it local, keep it quick, keep it fun. And for looking for more fun, you can splash into summer and adopt a pet too. You can do that this Saturday at PetSmart in Hattiesburg from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is hosted by Southern Pines Animal Shelter, so head to find your forever kitty or canine. If you plan on adopting, bring a carrier for cats, and one could be provided if you don't bring one for $10. And bring a leash, just in case you plan on bringing home a dog. All Southern Pines animals are fixed, given age-appropriate vaccines, microchipped, dewormed, given flea, tick, heartworm preventatives. So go find a furry friend Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at PetSmart in Hattiesburg. Well, I guess I know how I'm going to spend my Saturday.
Pretty cool there. Looking very nice, I would say. If you are going to go out to such an event at such a time as we head into Saturday there, just get ready for it to be, guess what? Hot and humid. That's the way it's been for a while. That's the way it's still going to be. Thankfully, though, Saturday in particular looking pretty dry. It's pretty dry right now in Hattiesburg. As you look outside, you can see 89, feels like 99. That's actually one of the coolest we've been by this time of the day all week long, and that's generally because we saw a little bit more rain yesterday. So looking pretty nice right now. This is largely what it looked like in many locations yesterday, though, by about this time, shortly after we started seeing the clouds building and we ended up, here's all the rain that we saw within the last 24 hours. A nice little dry spot up in the northwest. The rest of it, some trace amounts, a few pockets of heavier activity, almost like getting upwards of half a foot down there in parts of Stone County. You add another 24 hours to that, it's still very patchy and very few and far between in many areas. So expect to see more of that as we head into the afternoon. We're just seeing those clouds thickening on the coastline. Expect our sea breeze to start to develop pretty soon. We'll see that pop up and drift around the area, very few and far between. Eventually they'll start bumping into each other and getting a little bit congested, eventually breaking down. When they do, we have a chance of seeing some windy conditions in the area, though there's no official severe risk for today. It could be upgraded as we head later on in the afternoon. Many times we do see like that level 1 just kind of barely get spread out a little bit more. But right now it's only for the extreme northwestern corner of the area, Simpson and Lawrence County there. Now again, it could extend a little bit over. That wouldn't surprise me. But none of the storms today really look like they'll have much support to get anything more than that going. Like absolute worst case scenario looks like about 40 to 60 mile per hour winds as one of these breaks down. And we will see less in the days ahead. Like we said for Saturday there, looking like one of the driest days we've had in a while. Still going to be hot and humid. Then we start working our way back up the rain chances there, with Monday looking like our rainiest day in the next 10. So another look at your weekend here. Really 40% there, that's looking like just your average amount of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. I would even say it looks like it's falling, so may end up a little bit drier than I even have it now. Saturday's looking pretty dry, just hot there, and then we start cooling again as we see the rain start building back. And once it comes in next week, it spikes to start the week off and then dries out. So we will eventually see some more sunny days out there as we finish off next week. But every time we see those rain chances start to fall, you see that temperature start to go up with that pretty steady humidity, which means if it's not raining a lot on any given day, those are the days where it feels like about 110.
Well, luckily, whether it's, hot or humid, raining, or the sun is out, we've got a really good mix of activities this weekend, whether they're indoors like the Natural Science Museum or the Children's Museum, or you want to head outside and visit the farmers market. Seems like we've got all your bases covered for some weekend fun.
I agree. Always good to have those multiple options, especially with those kind of random showers that pop up. You just may need like a short-term detour before you can get back to what you were planning on doing.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's going to do it for your weekend preview.
But we'll be back soon for your news at midday, so tune into NBC at noon. Until then, adios, Pine Belt.